Shalom Chavarim. As we read Matthew 24 about the tribulation, let us be thankful that these events have not come to play on the earth, and that we are living in a special time right now where the pendulum of global insanity is starting to swing back to somewhat normal, but there are opportunities opening up for prayer to um, inspire people, the people who have the power to make the world the way we want it. Matthew chapter 24. Debbie wants to remind us that it is about the tribulation. And when Yeshua went out of the temple to depart, and his disciples drew near and were showing him the construction of the temple. But he said to them, Behold, don't you see all these things? Truly I say to you, nothing will be spared. Not one stone here will be left upon another, which will not be torn down. And while Yeshua was sitting on the Mount of Olives, his disciples drew near and were saying among themselves and to him, Tell us when these things will be, and what is the sign of your coming and the end of the world? 224. His Kabarus has an isolated bet between his disciples and were saying, so it's just a technicality. Yeshua answered and said to them, Beware, let no man deceive you, for many will come in my name and will say that I am the Mashiach, and many they will deceive. Oh boy, look at the world today. How many false messiahs are there? For you are bound to hear of revolutions and rumors of wars. That's applicable today. Watch out and do not be disturbed, for it is necessary that all these things happen, but it is not yet the end. For nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and plagues and earthquakes in different places. But all these things are only the beginning of sorrows. Then they will deliver to afflictions, and they will kill you, and you will be hated by all nations because of my name. Then many will stumble and will hate one another and will betray one another. And many false prophets will arise and deceive many. And because of the growth of iniquity, the love of many will grow cold. But whoever has patience until the end, he will have life. And this good news of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a testimony to all the nations, and then the end will come. And when you see the sign of uncleanness and desolation that was spoken of by Daniel the prophet, which will stand in the set-apart place. Footnote 225 is Daniel 9:27, 11:31, and 12:11. Daniel 9:27. And he shall confirm a covenant with many for week 1, but in the middle of the week he shall bring an end to sacrifice and offering, and on the wing of abominations shall be one who makes desolate, and even until the consummation and which is determined is poured out on the desolate. Daniel 11, verse 31. And forces by him shall be mustered, and they shall defile the sanctuary fortress. Then they shall take away the daily sacrifices and place there the abomination of desolation. And we interpret this in our modern times. What was our sanctuary that was taken away, and what desolation has replaced it? Daniel 12:11. And from the time that is taken away the daily sacrifice and is set up the abomination of desolation, there shall be days 1,290. So it is not my job to interpret numbers or to come up with theories that's each one of us, our job to take the word and see what it means for our lives personally. He that reads, let him understand. Then those who are in Yehuda, let them flee to the mountain. And he who is on the roof, let him not come down to take that which is in his house. And he who is in the field, let him not turn back to take his clothes. So this issue of turning back, if you remember the story of Lot's wife turning into a pillar of salt. 19, and woe to the pregnant and to those who are nursing in those days, and pray that your flight will not be in winter nor on the Shabbat, for then will be great suffering, such has not been from the beginning of the world until the present, nor will ever be again. Joel 2:2 and Daniel 12:1. So Daniel 12:1. And at time that shall stand up Michael, the prince great, who stands over the sons of your people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to time that at a time that shall be delivered your people, everyone who is found written in the book, the Sefer, in the book of life. An army of locusts. Oh no. A day of darkness and deep darkness, a day of clouds and thick darkness, like the morning clouds spread over the mountains, a people come great and strong, the like of whom never has been from ever, and after them nor will there be any such, even for generations and many successive. Verse 22. And if those days were not shortened, not any flesh would live, but because of the chosen, those days will be shortened. And if anyone should say to you then, behold, the Messiah is here or there, do not believe it. For false messiahs and lying prophets will arise, and they will produce signs and great wonders in order to deceive, if possible, even the chosen. Behold, I have told you beforehand. So one interesting thing about today is AI, artificial intelligence, has the ability to create deep fakes of anything, anybody. There was a fake robocall of Joe Biden that went out in New Hampshire. And so do not believe anything at first glance. Okay, continuing with verse 26. Therefore, if they say to you, behold, he is in the wilderness, do not go out, or behold, he is into the inner chamber, do not believe it. For as the sunshine comes out from the east and is seen even in the west, thus will be the coming of the Son of Man. Wherever the carcass is, there will the eagles gather. And immediately after the suffering of those days, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not shine its light, and the stars will fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven will be shaken, Shamayim. And then will be seen the sign of the Son of Man in Shamayim, and then all the tribes of the land mourn when they will see the Son of Man who comes upon the clouds of Shamayim with great power and glory. And he will send his messengers with a large trumpet, and they will gather his chosen ones from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Okay, verse 29, immediately after, then the sun will be darkened. It's a good note, Debbie. Okay, so looking at some of these footnotes up to 34. So all these words have Old Testament sources. Hosea 8, Jeremiah 4:7-13, Ezekiel 1-10, 10:14, Isaiah 13:10, Ezekiel 32:7, Joel 2:10, 3:4, 2:31, 4:15, 3:15, Isaiah 34:4, Haggai 2:6 and 21, Zechariah 12:10 and 14, Daniel 7:13 and 14. So let's look at this note here. The phrase Shipora Raha may be better rendered as great shofar instead of trumpet. Ancient Torah practice is often said to be mirrored in Shamayim, and as such, the messengers described here, like the Israelites of blessed memory, would assemble in times of great importance or crisis by blowing the shofar. It's really a ram's horn. Similar language is also noted and explained in the book of Gileana, Revelation. See also Isaiah 27:13. So I'm not going to go through these references. They're available for people who want to study further. Okay, continuing with verse 32. Now from the fig tree learn a parable. As soon as its branches become tender and bring forth its leaves, you know that summer has arrived. Thus also, when you have seen all these things, know that it has arrived at the door. Truly I say to you that this tribe will not pass until all these things happen. Heaven and earth may pass, but my word will not pass. 236. Okay, so 235, the fruit of the fig tree symbolizes judgment upon the false judges of Israel, the counterfeit Sanhedrin. 236, see 18 New Testament misconceptions, number 9. My word, commands, commandments in appendix. Verse 36, about the day and about the hour no man knows, not even the messengers of heaven, but the Father alone. And as in the days of Nuh, which is Noah, thus will be the coming of the Son of Man. For as they were before the deluge, eating and drinking and taking women and giving them in marriage to men up to the day that Noah entered the ark. And they did not know until the deluge came and took them all. Thus will be the coming of the Son of Man. Then 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken and one will be left. And 2 women will be grinding at the mill, one will be taken and one will be left. Therefore be alert, because you do not know in what hour your master will come. And know this, that if the master of the house had known, he would not have allowed his house to be plundered. Because of this also you should be prepared, because in an hour that you do not expect, the Son of Man will come. Then who is the faithful and wise servant whom his master has appointed over his household to give them food in due time? That servant is blessed when his master comes and finds him doing thus. So let us be like that servant. I truly say to you that he will appoint him over all that he owns. But if a servant being evil in his heart says that my master will be delayed in coming, and begins to beat his fellow servants and to eat and drink with drunkards, the master of that servant will come in a day that he does not expect, and in an hour that he does not know. And he will cut him in two and give him his lot among the hypocrites, and there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So I know there's a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth now in the world. May we pay attention to it and help the people around us. The word is meant for us as just clues to remind us how we are meant to live our lives of compassion and love for our neighbors. Thank you.